Small 5.
Live from room 812 at the Lake Placid Lodge in Lake Placid, New York. It's a normal AF edition of Business Pants Friday, featuring the entire crew of Free Float Weirdos: Ari the Data Queen, Emma the Lurker, Matt the Zuck, and other. In this week's edition, Doom and Gloom.
Oh,
That's it?
What?
Doom and gloom?
Actually,
That's
that's
it.
right. You notice there's no punctuation at the end of that sentence? I stopped
no.
writing. No, there's
Fine,
supposed
wait,
to be
I'm
more.
going to add punctuation. Wait, I want to add punctuation.
Yeah, there's supposed to be
In
more.
this week's episode, Doom and Gloom, what punctuation did I use?
Yeah.
I like a
well,
good question mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Thank you, Emma
You're
Lurking.
Doom
What happened to the
and gloom,
music?
I
Why
don't
did it
know.
abruptly shut off the music? That's what I really want to know.
Because Matt was going to have an aneurysm, I think.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't.
All right.
Yeah, we're coming in hot today. We're just
All right, we're all
lighting it up.
We're all here. Matt keeps warning us that he's about to leave. So you want to just get into this?
Let's
August
get
12th,
into this.
2022.
I'm in a state of agita. Let's see if we can do this at a reasonable.
And I'm still
hour.
pre-lunch, so I'm keen to
Oh.
move forward. Here we go. Story of the week. Come on. Do I have story of the week music?
No, you just get the bell and
Okay. Oh, a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Here we go. Ooh, Meta's chatbot says the company exploits people. I could have used a lot of different headlines to describe the story, but I like that one. Meta's chatbot says the company exploits people. Also, Meta's new AI chatbot can't stop bashing Facebook. Disturbingly, Facebook turned over chats used in prosecution of 17-year-old in abortion case.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yikes.
They're giving cops data.
Yep.
Narcs.
Yeah, listen to this. The girl told police she'd had a stillbirth, then Facebook turned over private messages suggesting otherwise. So
That's crazy.
I guess the
Yep.
chatbot is onto something, right?
Well, the chatbot
maybe-
would know better than anyone, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe no one should use Facebook products. Maybe
I'm okay
that
with
would
that.
Solve your problems.
Yeah, I'm
Just
okay
thought.
with that. That's the first story. Meta's chatbot says the company exploits people.
This
Yes.
chatbot, man,
This chatbot.
telling us what we already know.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is a late entry into the headlines this week, and I'm putting this in the S category, ESG. We're an ESG company, sort of, even though we hate it.
Ugh,
But this is an S
No, we're
story,
not.
social. Here's this headline: Avoid HR if you're having workplace issues. The former VP of HR at Microsoft said that I can assure you that HR is not your friend.
Totally.
Here's where you should go instead if you're having workplace issues. So I guess this blows up my whole narrative. I kept applauding
Oh, yeah.
the women who were head of HR, but I don't know what to say
weren't
anymore.
we weren't applauding the women.
What
who
were
head
we
of
doing?
HR. We were saying that that's where women get shunted.
That's
They're
your
all
only way
put
into
the
Yeah.
head of HR, and it's the worst job. Right? Like,
yeah.
it's literally the job no one wants, because everyone, if you're ever been an employee of a major company, you never talk to HR because you know they're not your friend. I had a friend who talked to HR about his problems and then ended up getting fired, right?
Yeah.
They're not your friend, and everyone
No.
knows that, really.
They're also narcs.
Yeah.
So it's
What is
not,
this,
they're
the
not
narc
therapists.
edition of Story
So
of
they
the Week?
can't. So they're allowed to share your horrible, deviant behavior. They're not like therapists or doctors.
No, of course.
No.
They share it with your manager, like, immediately after that. Like, you tell them, like, my manager, I hate my manager, and they go to your manager, and they're like, your employee hates you. You need to get them under
Okay, so
control.
so
And
far
that's
So
it.
far, my doom and gloom prediction is coming true. Meta's chatbot says the company exploits people. Avoid HR if you're
Wait,
having
so where are
if
you
you're
supposed
having
to go?
workplace issues.
Nowhere.
He suggests, unfortunately,
Lawyers.
he suggests
Hi.
creating your own peer groups.
Oh,
Oh,
good. Yeah, no,
Jesus.
that
Outs-
works.
Yeah, outside of the office. So really, you're alone. That's what
I
he's
think
suggesting.
that's called
you're alone.
friends. He just said, go get some friends. That's what he
Well,
just said.
he was a bit more nuanced in that he wants to get friends from specific communities, like those associated with work, outside of the
Wait.
workplace,
Social
those in the
workers?
industry.
Is he saying we
What?
should form a union?
Outside of the workplace,
I
Ari.
like
Outside
that.
of the workplace. The union
Ari
is
just nailed it.
Yeah,
Go,
I don't know.
Yeah,
go
Maybe
make
you're
a
right.
union. Go make a
let's
union.
let's have that be the takeaway. Former VP of HR at Microsoft says, "Fight back." That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Streaming wars. This is the third headline of the week. Netflix's bad year just got worse as Disney Plus passes it in streaming subscribers. I thought I'd throw this one on here. Emma's here.
Here's what
Yeah.
I want to know. I want
Yeah.
to know how much Reed Hastings made in Netflix's bad year. That's what
Well,
I'm
you know.
interested in. Yeah.
Lots of money.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, let's be honest. The business news destroys everything good in the world because this doesn't mean there's anything wrong with Netflix. It just means that we're constantly focused on growth. We're constantly focused on like being number one. Really, there's nothing wrong with Netflix.
I wanna come back to this
titan.
one.
It's a titan in the field.
I'm going to come back to this one because
Making
I-
great TV series.
I hate it.
It's all about growth. Number 4, this is an environmental story. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and other billionaires are backing an exploration for rare minerals buried beneath Greenland ice. So they're taking advantage. They're exploiting the melting ice in Greenland caused by the climate crisis. And in a related story, this one's for you, Ari.
Yeah.
The sand is so hot in Florida that nearly all sea turtles born there are now female. So
Yep.
perhaps
Yes.
as many as 99% of the total eggs laid now are female. They're female turtles, and here's why: because any temperature above 88.8 degrees determines because the sex of a turtle is determined by the ground, by the incubation period.
Temperature?
Yeah, but
Oh.
not the gestation of the egg, not when it's fertilized, but the incubation of the egg. So if the sand is above 88.8 degrees, they're automatically female, and that's what's happening. Automatically female. Isn't that crazy?
Have we
Yeah.
told the men this? Maybe they'll now want to fight climate change.
What does this really mean? It means that that external genitalia are being burnt off by nature?
No,
what does it really mean? I don't
No.
understand.
I would
No?
I hope that this carries over. There was a comic
Oof.
book series that they turned into, I think, a Netflix series called Why the Last Man. It was about
You know.
how
He knows.
in a post-apocalyptic world, everything with a Y chromosome died, and except for one dude who was the one last man left alive, and then the world was run by women. That is basically your dream, isn't it?
This could flip Florida. We might get rid of DeSantis if all the people being born are women, right?
Imagine a global set of boards where they're like 30% men by 2120, right? Like imagine the new goals you can set. Like, can we just find some men to add on boards? That's
Or
just the.
female sea
let-
turtles.
I guess my point is, let the turtles lead us.
I'm ready.
I'm fine with that. I really am.
Here's where they're going to lead us, Matt. Just back into the ocean. They just turn around, and go back in. That's where they're
I'll go
going.
with them. I'm just gonna go with them.
And finally, the fifth story of the week is in the pizza category. I don't think we actually have this category. I think this is made up.
I
But
like it.
I like the headline. Domino's Pizza quits Italy after locals shun American pie. So they had I think about 40 to 50 franchises. They're all done. After 7 years. They give it 7 years.
Wow.
They quit. They're quitters.
Is
mean-
Starbucks next?
It's over. No, actually, Starbucks is.
They opened the first one a few years ago.
In
I
Italy?
wonder. Yeah.
That
'cause
really
they
it took them
weren't
that
able
long.
to.
That
Yeah,
seems
well,
hard to believe. I gotta tell you,
Italians were like, no.
Starbucks coffee is so strong. It's kind of adjacent to Italian coffee, so I don't know
No,
that
it's
it's that much different.
No, it's not.
You're an
Spoken like
expert.
someone who's
Don't
never
talk to Matt
actually
about
been to
this.
Italy and had Italian coffee.
I have, but
I
I
just-
didn't think I was that wrong.
I just want to know if anyone at Domino's has ever tried a Domino's pizza, because that's the real explanation for why Italians don't want it. It's
Well, the
not
fact
good.
that they were audacious enough to even try to sell Domino's pizza in Italy in the first place, like someone 7
is
years
Giving them
ago
credit.
Delusional.
was like, here's a good idea. You know where we should sell our shitty pizza? In the birthplace of pizza. It's what's not an excellent idea about that?
Where they
Didn't-
should sell it is France, because the French make terrible pizza. All
Do we
right,
know
those are
how
my
many-
5 stories. Yeah.
Adjacent question for that last
Yeah.
one. Do we know how many Scottsdale, Arizona headquartered PF Chang's there are in China. Maybe maybe Domino's thinking they could just waltz into Italy and sell fake Italian food to Italians was a little bit of hubris. PF Chang's isn't like walking into China and being like, here's some Chinese food, China.
Yeah, that's. Do we know
Okay.
this for a fact? Do we know this for a
There
fact?
are PF Chang's in China.
How
Or can
many?
we ask
How
you
many?
this?
Not
No,
many.
there's-
No, like they just
only
opened.
300
in
worldwide.
2018. They opened their first one in Shanghai.
Are there Olive Gardens in Italy, and are there cheesecake factories in Brooklyn? That's what I want to know.
There's a lot of overlap here.
All right, those are my 5 stories. Take it away. Come on, let's vote. Come on, hurry up. Come on.
Yeah,
let's do
There's
it.
I'll
only
start, I'll
one
start.
story of the week
Yeah.
here.
Wow. I'll start
Netflix,
and let's see
Netflix,
if
Disney. Yeah, Ari, you go. You
No,
go.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's Netflix, Disney.
Don't let
That's
Matt
just-
dominate. You
That's
go,
just
Ari. Come on.
blah. I want to know what's going on in Greenland.
Oh,
like,
interesting.
What are they? Why are they like? Why?
What do you mean
Congrats
why?
on picking
You
the
know
second
why.
most important story of the week.
You don't know why? You don't know why?
I want to know how the. I want to know how does this fit what they're currently doing? What are they?
We don't have a cash register sound effect. I guess we don't.
Yeah, no, that's interesting to me. So
you're going with Greenland's melting ice and billionaires wanting to
a
exploit
close
it.
second for me was the HR
Center
story. Like somebody, a VP of
Wow.
HR, actually saying what they haven't said. Not that I've heard it, but
Right.
That was
So-
the fourth most important story of the week.
You don't have to rank them. Emma, you
it.
go next because I
Everything
think
else, it's like
Matt's sitting on an obvious choice. I don't want him to sway you. What do you think, Emma?
Okay. I think that I'm gonna go. I'm going HR.
God,
Yeah, that does fit
congratulations to
your
two of you.
stakeholder. You're the stakeholder queen, so
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I think you should stick to your narrative.
I
The
will,
correct
thank you.
answer is the chatbot, which is everywhere. It's everywhere.
it is
Well,
everywhere, but
but
it's not
it's
telling us
just-
anything we don't
I have
know.
to break
Yeah,
a
it's
tie.
one in a million
It's
things. It's like,
how?
okay, now a bot is telling us that Facebook sucks, or we're gonna next have an
Okay.
alien tell us that Facebook sucks. Like, I don't,
But wait, HR saying we're not your someone who's ex HR saying HR is not your friend is new, and billionaires exploiting resources is new. Like all of
What
it
about
is
pizza?
pretty old.
What about
The
Domino's?
fact
Quit-
is
Come
Pizza
on.
leaving Italy. You're right. You're right.
that
That's it.
that actually be
That's
the
it.
only new thing. No,
I gotta
it's
break the
it's
tie here.
chatbot.
Well, the way I've seen
yeah.
the chatbot like portrayed in the news, it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
haha, look at this funny thing. It's not like, holy shit, we should be extra concerned. What is going on? This chatbot knows everything.
Well, we are the news, Ari. We're holy shitting it. So how dare you?
Well, yeah.
We're more important than CNBC. I'm going to break the tie. I'm going with Matt, not for Matt's reasons. I'm going with Meta because they just the chatbot single-handedly did something that the oversight board couldn't do, which is actually provide independent oversight of the company. like this, right? This is what we've been begging for years, and that the oversight board and we've been joking about how much of it just have a train wreck it is because
I would
takes them
love
7 years to decide that dental floss in Sweden is actually called dental floss, or I don't even know what they're doing. What are they doing? I don't know.
I would really love for them to feed the text a question to the chatbot like, should this content be taken off of Facebook, and have it respond. It would probably just
An
say, I
immediate
like daffodils. Yeah, and then it's over.
This is crushing our democracy. I
yeah,
like
it's-
that.
What
Yeah.
democracy? Is there a democracy at Meta?
Somewhere.
That,
I
that,
heard.
the
that you know
chatbot.
about?
I read about
All right,
it.
that's
I
it.
read
Story of
about
the week. Come on, someone bail me out because no one wants
I'm
to
going to
hear
bail
my
you
voice
out. I know
anymore.
we're supposed to go to Goodliest, but we're going to do Goodliest next because I have
What do you got,
sneaking
Matt?
suspicion.
Ass
Michael Andrews-
holiest of the week. Come on.
Assholiest of the week. All right. I'm going to start where we just left off, which is Meta's AI chatbot. And
Oh, okay.
here's why. Here's why. The headline was Meta's chatbot says the company exploits people. That's the headline I went with.
Mm-hmm.
This has been shared everywhere. It keeps popping up in every feed I see. It's Business Insider's made a week of content out of this. I mean, someone sneezes in an airport, they make a week of content, so that's not a really high bar, but it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But people, you are being conned because if
Why?
you think that Meta hasn't tested this chatbot with like questions about itself and to make sure it's racist enough, This is basically Zuck's big gaslight, isn't it? Now you trust the Meta chatbot because it's saying something about Meta
Oh,
that you
wow.
didn't
Yeah,
think
you're-
it would say.
You're proving my point. It's doing what the oversight board couldn't do. He realized that was a failure.
But they know that it's doing that, and it has no it has no power, it has no accountability. Basically, what they did was made you want to pay attention to Meta again and trust a Meta product. Oh, look, that Meta product just told me the truth about Meta that we all already knew, and we shouldn't be using Meta.
Matt,
I need a
Matt.
chatbot to tell me that.
Can
like
we
the-
get the chatbot on the board? Can we nominate them?
That would be fantastic, but they would still be at the mercy of a dual class dictator and a college dropout. So who cares? Like, it's
By the
not
way,
like they can
Emma,
avoid
Ari,
it.
do you guys know what the name of the chatbot is? Anyone know?
No, what is it?
No.
I do.
Ready for this? Yeah, ready for this? BlenderBot 3. What?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Wow.
Ari,
what
why?
I want to know what
Ari,
happened
why?
to 1 and 2.
But
They
more
were
importantly,
really, really racist.
BlenderBot. What? Well, come on.
Look, the fact is, Meta platform Zuckerberg, Meta is an asshole. So
All right, that's your
everything
first
that
asshole of the
comes
week.
out of Meta
Yep.
came out of an asshole. So treat it accordingly. That's my
Sure.
point for
Even
asshole of the week,
HR.
number
So
one.
like in this like bizarro world where everything's an asshole, does that make HR at Meta good?
Ooh,
Because they're
It's-
wait.
We gotta
No,
ask
let me
the
do-
chat
let me
bot.
do the
side
math.
of Meta.
Let me do
They're
the math while
more
you're
on the
talking.
side of Meta. They double asshole. They're
Double
it's like,
asshole.
It's a double asshole. All right.
Oh, so
number
that's what they mean when they
two.
say rip you a new asshole. They mean HR.
mean HR,
HR is the new
yes.
asshole.
HR,
Okay, got it.
HR is the new asshole. Number 2 is the streaming wars. Now you already covered.
You're just taking
There we
my
go.
stories and,
You
and calling
covered
them assholes.
Netflix. Well, here's the headline: Netflix bad year just got worse as Disney Plus passes it in streaming subscribers. I mean, just pause for a second on bad year. The bad year that got bad because Disney announced they gained 14 million subscribers in the last quarter. Netflix stock was trading up 8%. Well, Disney was up 11%. And why are they both up? It's not because it's a bad year. It's because there aren't any streaming wars. They're not competing in a zero-sum game for subscribers. Raise your hand if you have both Disney and Netflix. There's a massive percentage of people that have both, that are paying for both. So what are we really doing? We're just rebuying cable, you idiots. If you bought Peacock, Disney, Hulu, and Netflix separately,
Yeah.
right? It would cost you about $47 a month, $50 a
Why
month.
would you buy Peacock? Would anyone do
If
that?
you buy basic
It's
cable
an Olympic
bundle
year.
right now, a
Mm-hmm.
basic cable bundle from Xfinity Comcast, it's $49.99 a month. You idiots are paying for the same shit.
Wait, but
over
to be
and
fair,
over again. There's no war.
I like when you rant, but to be fair, the products on Netflix, Hulu, Disney, all that nonsense, it's way better than cable, no?
But
Isn't it a
now it's
better
built
product?
in. You can build it like you buy cable. Peacock comes with it, right? Like you can, so you can stream
Did not realize
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
I did not
like
realize
half
that.
of the apps, if you have cable, you can auto stream it, right? So it doesn't. You're paying for the same stuff. All the headlines suggest that Disney is now winning the streaming wars. There's no war.
Here's what I really
they're
like.
the same subscribers. It's just cable again. What are we
Here's
talking
what
about?
I really like, Matt, is that in all your anti-woke reporting, you're now telling me that the anti-woke, they now love Netflix because they defended Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, that's true.
So suddenly now this company, which is really not anti-woke at all. I mean, really, and I know Emma's gonna throw her iced coffee at me. In this realm, Netflix has done a pretty good job being woke. I mean, their representation is good. I mean, compared to my childhood, I mean, I'm always astounded when I go to Netflix that they have anyone other than, like the Golden Girls. But
I miss the Golden
but
Girls.
I just like that all it takes in the anti-woke crowd is to have one moment of yelling at a liberal, and that's enough. That's enough
That's
to
it.
invest in that
That's
company
it.
as anti-woke.
Make sure one marginalized community is outraged at you at all times, and then
Totally.
you're in the anti-woke. Look,
I think
guess
people writing about this are just pissed that they're cracked down on the password sharing. That's it.
That's what they're pissed about?
I could be.
That's it.
All I know is that the streaming wars aren't wars. No one is winning. There's no war. No one's winning. We're losing because we're paying for the same shit 30 times. So streaming wars.
Also,
is
there
being
aren't
messed
enough
up.
hours in the day to watch all the content in all these platforms. Like, just
I just,
mind-boggling.
like,
That's what
reading
cloning
headlines
is all
like,
about, I guess.
Netflix bad year just got worse. Disney passed them.
Matt can't
Just
get off
please.
this. You really can't
They all
quit this
they
one.
own the same subscribers. It's
Yeah.
just all one. It's a uniperson. It's all a drug anyway. All right,
A
last,
person.
and this is the one that you're all probably going to go for.
Ooh, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, it is 23andMe.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 23. Here's the headline: 23andMe CEO says U.S. is falling behind in the DNA race.
What does that
That's right.
mean?
There
What does
is
that
a
mean?
race for your DNA, is what they're talking
Oh.
about. Here's the subheadline from the same article.
Yeah.
The UK, China have pulled ahead in genome research, Anne Wojcicki says.
Right. Okay.
So, some notes before I get to just the quotes, which will speak for themselves. The quotes are from CEO Anne Wojcicki. This is the sister of YouTube CEO Susan.
Mhm.
She is the ex-spouse of Sergey Brin.
Really?
not
I
the
did
one
not-
who had the
I did
affair.
not know this.
Not-
Seriously,
she's not the, yeah,
the sister of the CEO of YouTube is the ex-spouse of
that
Google
is correct.
co-founder.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
Google buys
Wow.
YouTube. Sister of head of YouTube marries founder of Google. I didn't realize that, was a
that is
praiseworthy.
fantastic.
Wow.
Does that do we capture that in our new ratings? Do we get that? Like if your
No,
if your ex-husband is a Google
Is a
founder, is that in
founder?
our new
I
influencer
think that's
rating?
not in our. We
missed
let's-
that
Ari,
one.
let's
we
add
gotta
that to
we
our
gotta
backlog.
scrape the gossip columns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need that in our backlog. The 23andMe is funded by a lot of people, including Sequoia Capital and Rolif Botha, who, we talked about him before here. He is a Musk bro. He's the ex-CFO of the Teely PayPal. And he was on the board of YouTube. Of course he
Oh.
was. And he's a Libertarian U alum. So
Sure, of course.
Of course he was. And 23andMe went public in the last year as a dual class company via SPAC. And the company has been declared by someone in Congress as a potential risk for bioweapons that target your DNA because there's no rules that govern what they can do with the information they take from you when you swab your mouth and
Yeah.
send it to them.
Wasn't this in the
Okay.
latest James Bond movie? I think there was actually there were bioweapons that targeted your DNA. Anyone? Come on, anyone? Come on, anyone?
No.
The latest Bond. No one
Oh.
cares about that. Okay, now let's.
I saw
let
that on
Ann-
Amazon Prime, the streaming network no one's talking about. Amazon Prime.
No
I
one
saw it.
watches.
Exclusively
Until
for
the Lord of
Amazon
the
Prime,
Rings
and I
thing.
enjoyed it.
I'm telling you,
enjoyed
the new Lord of the Rings thing is going to get some Prime people to watch Prime. All right. Well, Anne, I'm going to let you continue. Here's a quote.
Uh-huh.
Quote, "We are far and away the best positioned entity to solve the question, public, not public, nonprofit, to solve the question, what does the human genome mean?"
We meaning
Wow.
the company, 23andMe?
We meaning
Wait.
23andMe
Wow.
is better suited than doctors to figure
Wow.
out the human genome. That's number one.
Oh,
Okay.
Wow.
She said that
I think it's
explicitly.
It's a tall ask.
And
Yeah.
then number
But
two,
don't
she
we-
said, yeah,
Yeah,
go
no.
ahead.
Don't we know what the human genome means? I feel like scientists figured that out. You know what I mean? Like they're
They
just
don't have, they've like deconstructed the human genome, but they don't have it at scale. So what she's basically saying
want
is
everybody's.
because idiots put swabs in their mouths and send it to us and think nothing of it,
Yeah.
we have more genome content than like the NIH does. Like congrats. to
that's
us.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
super. Second
Mm-hmm.
thing she said right after that, and she said, second, I transform people's lives.
Oh Jesus.
I tell someone that they're higher risk for breast cancer, and that leads them to get a mastectomy, and I can potentially prevent an early death. Like, that's amazing.
Wow.
Wait,
this
what?
woman is
Oh.
drunk
That
on
is what she said.
power.
I?
I
Wait, why did it go from we?
I can potentially prevent an early death.
Why did it go
I
from we to
transform
I?
people's
The
lives.
first quote, she's
It-
saying we
she-
are. Yeah.
She said I for the second part.
So that's like
That was not a
Elizabeth Holmes. A
misprint.
little bit of Elizabeth Holmes there.
It was
Yeah.
deeply troubling to watch a woman sit there and say, any person, forget woman, anyone
Yeah.
sit there and say, I transform your lives. I give you something and I prevent an early death. And that's amazing.
Wow.
I'll let this quote just linger like a fart. And you decide which one is the asshole of the week.
It's also like, okay, cool, but you're doing it for profit. Like, you make money, you know? Like, this isn't some benevolent organization here. Like, that you're making money off of. Yeah, you're right, Matt. I'm going with this one. I can do it right now. I'm going with this one.
That stinks.
Yeah,
To
you
be
got
fair,
me.
can I be fair though to this woman,
No,
to the CEO,
be very unfair.
Please.
to Anne? Her dad was a physics professor at Stanford, and according to Wikipedia, Anne and her two sisters grew up on Stanford's campus. So this is the first example of children who grew up at Stanford, and this is what happened. So maybe it's not her fault.
am God.
Maybe it's not her fault.
She's a molecular biologist
up
by
at
training.
Stanford.
She did not go to medical school, so she has training in at least she's not like that was the chief of marketing and started doing this. Like, so at least
that's
she
good.
probably has some scientific. She did some work for the NIH. She has some scientific grounding to do at least what she does. But the amount of hubris it says to say, I transform people's lives. I can say
I love it.
potentially prevent an early
Also,
death.
Matt, to defend her, she also dated A-Rod, so she just has a lot of confused, muddled thoughts.
It's
Sergey
really-
Brin and A-Rod.
Yeah,
It's
for over a
really-
year. They dated for over a year, Emma.
Hey,
This
she
is
shares
a-
an ex with J-Lo. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
I don't know. I'm kind of liking Anne. She's a fabulous CEO that we're overlooking. I mean, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of good
She's
stuff.
an
It's always
enigma
good
to
to
me.
know too that there's no accountability or oversight of our company because
How can
they
there
own
still
the-
not be
they-
laws that like tell them what they can and cannot do with the DNA they collect?
She was asked in the same interview, like, what assurances effectively do we have that you don't, sell my DNA or my data to somebody else? And
Like
she
you got
said, you have to opt in, right? Like you opt in for allowing us to
Oh.
do research and then we can do it. And she said
By, like,
the
pressing a
default
button?
is, the default is like you don't share. So 85% of our users opt in and you have control over that. And it's like, really? Is the opt-in somewhere like if you don't opt in, we can't give you your results? Is your opt-in somewhere like we're going to use this for amazing scientific research to save people's lives, and then you sell it to like Coca-Cola to see who's going to be
Yeah,
most
what?
likely to like love
Be
corn
addicted
syrup?
to Coke.
There's no guardrails here, not in reality. So
Wow.
those are your options. Your options are 23andMe, streaming wars, and Meta's AI chatbot.
23andMe, hands down. Wow. What a
Yep.
jerk.
I mean, I know I'm going to lose this, but my honest answer is not 23andMe, despite all that. It's
Okay, tell
still
me.
it's still Meta's chatbot to me because it's hinting at. We talk about the metaverse a lot. We talk about meta platforms a lot, but to me, it's hinting at our coming future in a way. It's suggesting something that's making me even more afraid. It's like I can't exactly put my finger on it, but just the fact that it constantly changes its mind and it relies on the internet for its actual knowledge. There's something scary about BlenderBot 3, and I still think it's the asshole of the week to me.
Nice. You lose, but nice.
I lose, but again, I'm afraid. I'm Zuck. You got me. I'm afraid of you.
All right, well, let's go back to Goodliest. Now, if I get interrupted,
Yeah,
by
make
my
us feel
children,
better,
then,
Ari, for once.
Ari can
Oh,
make us feel
I
better.
got you.
For once in your life, make us feel better.
There were lots of good things on the internet today, but I'll start with Canada.
Oh, Emma's not gonna like that.
Well, Canada to tax private jets, cars, yachts as celebrities catch flack for emissions. So on
Ooh.
September 1st, the Select Luxury Items Tax Act will go into effect in Canada, and it will add a 10% tax on the value of planes and cars that are over $78,000 and boats that are over $200K. Now, this is all over the news now because of celebrities like Taylor Swift being on the news for being giant polluters. However, Canada passed this last year. when no one
Ooh.
was really talking about this. So
I
Canada,
love
way
it.
to be
Canada
like
ahead of the curve.
go
I love
We
it.
were talking
ahead
about it. How dare you?
I
of
love
the
it.
curve. The tax has been criticized for hurting the aviation industry. Give me a break. And putting too much emphasis on individual behavior. However, this isn't like calling out your neighbor Francis, who is not really doing a good job recycling. This is taxing the 1% that contributes 15% of CO2 emitted every year. And I
Good
think
start,
10%,
Ari.
I don't think 10% is high enough, but it's something.
Agreed.
It's not a bad story. I like that Canada was ahead of. Hey, look, my one knock on this story.
Can
Tell
you?
me.
Yeah. Can you buzz? Can you buzz Ari anyway?
Is it
Emma? 'Cause
Francis?
she did say she talked about Canada. Could you buzz her, please?
Yeah.
No, absolutely
We like
not. I
Canada.
refuse.
When Damien said nice things about Canada, you buzzed him because of the way they treat Indigenous peoples, right? That was like
Yeah,
episode 2 for you.
I can't
Um,
do it every time, can I?
Here's
I have to
here's the one
select my
knock on
moments.
this. Okay, the Select Luxury Items Tax Act. The acronym is SLIDA. It's really you gotta like in the U.S. We give like all of the acts
I don't like that
ridiculous
joke.
names so that the
Take that back.
acronym is like cool, like the Freedom Act or something, or like the Amazing Act, and then the acronym is like
Don't sully
all
Canada.
men are zippy. Like it's just ridiculous acronym. So
Slida.
I don't like
think
that.
Slida's great.
no, it
They're
sounds
gonna
terrible.
Yes.
Slida into rich people's wallets. That's great. Number
Yeah.
2. I think number 2 should be included in 2022 greatest hits at the end of the year. This is the
Okay.
headline from the New York Times. The boy bosses of Silicon Valley are on their way out.
Yes. Yes.
Immediately
Prove it.
after the headline, they rode their unicorns to fame and fortune. In a rocky market, it got a little less fun. So what they're
Whoa.
talking about is Pinterest CEO, Airbnb co-founder, Instacart executive chairman, MailChimp CEO. They're all gone or leaving this year. Founders of Peloton, Medium, MicroStrategy have all resigned this year due to pressures from the economy. But what their modern boy boss, arguably pioneered by Mark Zuckerberg,
Totally.
they make huge demands. They want to keep controlling interest in the company. They're often lavished by venture capital firms who bend over backwards to try to give them as many perks as possible and treat them like literal royalty. Now, this article is arguing that those firms no longer see these people as visionary heroes.
How dare
And
they?
They're fuddy-duddies now.
yeah, and now they have like wartime CEOs. They're coming in, people with actual experience coming in
Actual
and
experience.
taking over for these founders whose roles quickly outgrew their skills and like what they were good at. But they were just
So-
there
Dropouts.
because we have this fetish with founder leaders.
So, Ari, I think I misread the original idea here. So they're not being replaced. The boy bosses are on their way up. They're not being replaced by girl bosses. They're being
By
replaced just
men
by.
So
bosses.
girl bosses were
By
the
men
first ones to
bosses.
die.
Yeah. The
Yes.
boy
Yeah.
is out. The man is in.
Girl
The man
bosses
is
are
in-
already dead. Boy bosses
Already
lasted
dead?
yeah.
Oh.
Girl bosses have been dead.
What about
Yeah.
women bosses? Are any Peloton, Medium, MicroStrategy, any of these companies being taken over by women?
MailChimp is being taken over.
MailChimp.
Yeah. But the next CEO is a woman who
Okay.
currently works there. She's an executive.
Did
at
she
MailChimp.
grow up on the Stanford campus?
I
One
didn't
can only
read her
hope.
bio, unfortunately.
Okay.
Look,
But this is so great. Are you kidding? This is
I'm not gonna vote for this simply because I think Ari
Hey.
is trying to take my job as
Don't
CEO.
reveal your
I'm
vote
a,
before
I'm
the
a
end of
boy
it.
boss. Aren't I a
reveal your
boy
vote.
boss?
Yeah, you are a
I'm
boy
little-
boss,
No,
I'm a
you're
actually.
boy
boy.
boss.
No, you're like a guy.
I didn't tell
a
you
guy
guys,
or
but I
man
rewrote our
Actually-
charter to give myself
He has
tri-class
children. He's not a boy
shares.
boss.
Yeah, you guys are in your 40s, I guess. You've aged
can't
out of
be-
being a boy boss.
Andrew
Yeah.
Houston at Dropbox. Where is he? He's a boy
Dropbox?
boss, isn't he? And like
But didn't he start the company?
If I
in
don't know
20s?
his name, is he a boy boss?
Oh, interesting.
also
All right, what else you got, Ari?
no one knows my name. So
all right. Next.
Fair enough.
This is the headline. The climate is luring engineers away from big tech. Oh,
Yeah. Well,
Climate
for
tech
terrible reasons.
is the new
Yeah.
Facebook, but not in the bad way. Engineers eager for purpose and impact are quitting their jobs to battle the climate crisis. Now, workers are citing the urgent need for climate solutions, the innovative space that climate technology can offer, and mostly the existential dread they feel getting
Yeah.
their big paychecks and going to work for companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, doing the same thing every day that mostly benefits that company and the owners of that company.
Yeah.
So there is this job website called Climate-based where people go and look for climate-related jobs. And it started less than 2 years ago. And already more than 500,000 people have applied for jobs through this website.
Ari, are you one of them? If I look at your
Yeah.
open
Ari-
tabs, would you be in the middle of an application on climate base?
No, but that is my backup plan. There we go.
I can always tell when Ari's got a job interview because
Wait,
she
you have a
comes
backup
into
plan?
my
How
home
dare you.
office dressed like
Always
she
have
has
a
a job
backup
interview.
plan.
Oh, really?
So
She's announcing. We have a very small company. She's announcing her backup plan right now on air. This is reassuring.
Nice.
Damien, what's yours? Come on.
Oh, please, I don't have any.
It's a bagel shop.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Totally.
that's my life story is not having a plan at all. So how dare you?
At least an idea. I was reading about this. I was like, this sounds great. Like a great
I have no
backup plan.
ideas. All I can say that Andrew Houston, co-founder of Dropbox, is 39, Matt, and he co-founded the company when he was 25. So he's a boy boss.
He's a boy boss. I guess he is it. So wait, I don't want to go back to boy bosses, but are they like boy bands just for Silicon Valley? Is that what it is? It's like something you liked when you were 16?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And so VCs are the last people to suddenly get a change of heart at these boy bosses because us
I don't
normal
believe it.
people, we already have started disliking boy bosses, right? We're not putting them in the same pedestal that we once did. So the
I don't know if I
founder
believe this. This sounds like the New York Times is taking like a few pieces of
It was
data, a few
not the
data
New York
points.
Times.
Oh, according to Ari, it was.
The-
Who had that
The
article?
boy
It was the New York
bosses, it
Times.
was the New York Times.
Okay.
All right.
Anyone want to
so
vote?
we
Goodliest of
got
the week.
Canada taxing. You know what? Canada's SLIDA tax. The
Slid it to your wallet.
boy bosses are
Okay, you
out.
made it better.
Man bosses are in, and
Yeah.
climate luring engineers from big tech.
Goodliest of the week.
I'm torn between two of them, and it isn't the boy bands.
To me, I gotta land. I'll go first. I gotta land on the last one, Ari. I'm hoping it's true. There's a lot of clickbaity, teasy, business newsy, cherry picked data headlines, but I hope that's true.
Sure.
I want it to
One
be
of
true.
the-
That the
one of
climate
the
is luring
high-
engineers away from big tech. Yeah.
One of the high profile cases of
Mm-hmm.
engineers trying to work for climate solutions is the previous CTO of Meta. He quit his job.
Okay.
He stepped down as CTO to focus on climate, and I believe he's working on trying to decarbonize the oceans because it has very little funding, and it's cool technology.
Did he also say avoid the IT department if you're having workplace issues?
I would.
Just asking.
Well.
That's my vote.
He probably said, "Did you try computer back on?"
Yeah,
It
that
does
is
work
the
still
way.
That's
to
it.
this day.
Emma, do you have a take here?
Yeah, I'm going, and you can give me all the shit you want. I don't care. I'm going
No shit.
Canada. I'm
No,
What do you
I
mean?
wouldn't give
Why
you
would I
shit.
give you
That's
shit
what
for
I'm torn
that?
Between.
Why would we give you shit? We like Canada.
because
You're the
you're
one who hates
gonna
it.
you're gonna pick apart all my Canada problems and be like, oh, so now you're going for
Well, no,
Canada.
whatever.
And
Well,
I'm
you're
gonna be
allowed
like,
to vote.
yes.
You're saying that on your Apple computer that you hate
It's
the
true.
company who makes it, so it doesn't make
true.
it. I'm actually torn because I'm trying to figure out how much the tax will bring in Canada because if it adds to the 10% tax on the value of planes and cars, the luxury goods Total luxury goods market in Canada is estimated at somewhere like $8 billion every year. So at $8 billion, 10% is like 800 million bucks. It's just under $1 billion in tax revenue added, and you can do some stuff with that. But it's not actually a massive market in Canada, and the problem is here. The problem is everyone on the celebrity top 10 list is an idiot American, including like
Hey, wait,
Kim
isn't Drake
Kardashian
Canadian?
No, yeah.
was he on the list?
He is, but Drake
Yeah.
did not make the top 10 list.
Oh, he didn't make the
Yeah.
top 10?
No.
Yeah.
Dang.
And maybe
Top-
maybe because they didn't cover non-US people. I don't know. You'd have to look at the study.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, it's an ugly list. It's people like flying from like your mom's backyard, 3 miles to the Stop and Shop, right? Like it's an ugly little list. And I don't,
But
Yeah, it is.
but Matt, put those numbers in perspective, because remember that the Canadian population is basically like a tenth of the U.S. population. So those numbers are significant.
It's not insignificant, but
Yeah.
it's also like America is always the problem. We're
True.
I
we
like
have-
to
our
see
pollution
legislation,
thing is-
though. Like, I like the whole job thing, but I do like the legislation trend, which I think is probably like 50% of why I went with it anyway, because I love to see some laws being put in place. God
You like
forbid.
laws. Emma loves
Yeah,
laws.
I like some
I'm
laws.
just saying
I don't know.
I'm just saying we do pollution in this country like we do obesity. We do it all really well, right?
We
Like
go all- we're all in.
We do all the things well. But
Ari? Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
this climate tech one. I like this climate.
Oh, he hasn't voted yet. Okay, yeah, you
No, I
haven't voted
yet. I'm.
No.
I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to go with Emma because I think that's actual action and it's not sort
Emma
of
didn't
mythical
create
action.
this law, by the way. This is the legislator in Canada. This is
Emma wrote
Canadian
it.
legislators. Okay.
Yeah, that's the good latest.
Should I start writing laws? I would totally write some laws. Anyone want me to write
Okay.
laws?
I'd vote for you. Can I vote for you? No, I can't vote for you. If you move to Maine and run for Senate, I will vote for you. I promise.
Okay, cool. Even
Yeah.
though I'm not a native Mainer, you'd still vote for me?
Or you to meet the minimum age.
It's not the presidency. You don't have to be born in the state to
true.
run.
It's true, yeah. I don't know what I could run
House
for.
of Reps. House of Reps.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Old enough.
What about
Am I
sheriff?
old? Oh, no,
Sheriff,
thank you. I'm not a
Sheriff
narc.
Emma.
I can't be a cop.
All right, what else? Oh, speaking of Emma not being able to be a cop, it's Emma lurking with irritatingness of the week. Come on,
Okay.
make us grossed out.
Okay, I'm good at that. So let's see how I do. Number 1, there are 4. We have Elon Musk challenges Twitter CEO Parag
Yes.
Agrawal to debate on bots.
Absolutely.
This is
I don't think
annoying
I
on
need any
principle.
context. I
Yeah.
already am irritated.
Oh, I wish
Yeah.
he challenged him to a duel.
Yeah, which he like basically
did,
more
essentially.
challenged him to like a senior class president debate in the
Right.
midst of one of like the seminal lawsuits of the 21st century. Like it's just
Yeah.
it's annoying on principle.
And
yeah.
and I think Emma, in lieu of the court case, right? Like I think he suggested that this would solve the issue.
The
That
tweet
this debate. Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
The
God,
tweet
it's so
itself
annoying.
from Elon was, I hereby challenge at Parag Agrawal's handle to a public debate about the Twitter bot percentage. Let him prove to the public that Twitter has greater than 5% fake or spam daily users or less than 5% fake or daily spam users. But yeah, so that's one. Number 2, Apple vows to make
Uh-oh.
changes after report details how 15 female employees faced an apathetic HR following sexual harassment allegations.
HR.
Apathetic HR. Why didn't they listen
HR.
to the first part of our show?
Oh, yeah, they should have been
HR.
listening to this show before they brought anything to HR.
First mistake.
Yeah. So thing number 1 that I find annoying about this is that Apple's HR department is called their people team
Ooh,
because
that's
they
weird.
just have to be different
all
like
do
that. You know.
I don't like that.
I don't like
And
that
this
either.
is what their people team did upon the women coming to them. They told the women that there was nothing they could do, even if there was hard evidence. And
That's
they
what they
offered
said.
some of the women money for emotional distress or as an incentive to not disparage Apple, which is cool.
I think it's more the latter, but yeah.
And then and
Somebody
keep in
should
mind
ask
that
Siri what Siri thinks of Apple.
yeah,
Siri is
and
a
so-
Siri's a train wreck, so Siri will probably divide 20 by 7.
Yeah, and some of these allegations were like quite severe. For example, one of the employees that went to Apple said that a male employee helped her home after she got a little too drunk at a happy hour and put her to bed and took naked pictures of her while she was sleeping.
Oh, whoa! You
Like,
had
it
me.
was-
I thought it was altruistic until that last part.
No,
Yeah,
no,
obviously.
that was one of the allegations.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
yeah. So it was bad, and then Apple obviously did nothing and bribed them. I also don't understand why that's not bribery. Like, what about that is not
Here's what
bribery?
Here's what Apple HR did. They looked up their internal rankings of employees, and they looked up that guy, and they're like,
Jesus.
"Oh, this guy's important, so we'll have to figure out how to pay her off or
Jesus.
something."
And the final kicker of irritation is Apple's response to the Financial Times, which is who was reporting on this. They said, there are some accounts raised that do not reflect our intentions or our policies, and we should have handled them differently, including certain exchanges reported in this story. As a result, we will make changes to our training and processes. Big fucking whoop. Like, it
Yeah.
just means nothing to me.
But back up. That is
Yeah,
a way
back
better
up.
response than Activision Blizzard, which said
Oh,
there are no
Nothing
problems.
That is
happened
such a
here.
low
Nothing
bar.
No
happened
problems.
here.
There are no
There's no
problems, and if there were, we already
away.
fixed them.
Yeah.
And here's how we fixed
that's
them.
the
Not only are there no
comparison-
problems, but we fixed all the problems that don't exist. That's how
Everything's fine.
few problems there are. This is way better than that.
Oh, that's a
Wow.
sad state of affairs if that's the case. Number
You know-
3.
Yeah, number 3.
Sorry, Ari, go ahead. Ari, go ahead. I want to hear
Well-
what you have to say.
I have also heard of people who have suffered sexual harassment in the workplace. They have gone directly, like, they've tried to sue the company and stuff like that. And the company's always like, well, you didn't report it to HR. Right? So it's just a freaking
Really?
lose-lose.
That's a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, always
Yeah.
a lose-lose.
Like-
Oh, yeah.
Terrible.
You didn't tell us this was happening. Therefore, we didn't know. Therefore, we couldn't protect you. Therefore,
but-
you cannot sue us.
But
Yeah.
you know what, Ari?
not saying
now
it
they can
works.
now they can use us as proof because they can say, yeah, but the HR guy at Microsoft said that you can't trust HR, so why would I go to them and report anything, right?
Hopefully they
Know
say
that now. He just
Damian
said it.
Rollis
true.
at Business Pants said that I
Well,
can't trust
hey,
HR.
Damien, I think you should
Start of all good court cases.
you should do HR
Ooh.
here for free
Wow.
float. You should do
Number
HR.
3. Big Tech just got one step closer to squashing key U.S. antitrust bill.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, so this one's pretty quick. Here's all I have to say about this
Yeah.
is all these big tech companies we're not monopolies. We're in support of regulation. Like, we're in favor of a competitive market. Blah
Is
blah
that
blah.
actual
They're
tape?
all
Is that actual
they're all
tape?
yeah, that was actually a
Shit
verbatim
play.
quote.
Mm-hmm.
They're all liars, all of
Probably.
them. The Computer and Communications Industry Association is an industry group that represents Alphabet and Meta and Amazon, and they are viciously fighting this legislation, and they succeeded in getting the Senate to delay long enough where they didn't convene on a vote before they recessed. So they spent $22 million in a single week this summer fighting this legislation.
Imagine if they cared about
Single
abortion
week.
rights.
Imagine what
if
they
they,
could do.
imagine if they cared about something else.
Here's
Like
where my pea
climate
brain.
change.
Here's where my pea brain is going, Emma. Is
Yeah.
okay? So Google became Alphabet, Facebook became Meta. Is Amazon going to change its name?
Yes, to River.
Where, go, Ari. What is it? What are they going to change their name to?
River.
That's just brilliant. She's right.
Yeah, because Amazon.
River.
You're right. You might be right, Ari. Amazon is way too specific, is
Yeah.
it not? Why not be all rivers and
Now we're gonna be
tributaries,
a
streams,
river of
brooks?
information.
What about wait? Hang on.
Creeks.
What about forest?
I like river. I like river.
Or
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they don't want the bad press if they actively cut down forest. And they're
True.
called
Right.
forest.
but do they
River
pollute
flow.
rivers? Probably.
The flow of information. I like it.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It goes with AWS stuff too. Rivers.
Mm.
Right.
All right.
Because rivers come from the clouds, right? They do.
And
You
this-
know they do.
Are they listening? Is someone listening?
I took third grade science.
And finally, number 4. This is my smallest scale one, but I do find it to be annoying.
Come on,
Malcolm
what is it? Come on.
Gladwell, who works
Oh,
remotely.
that's my vote.
Honestly, fair.
Automatically
Um,
irritated.
Malcolm Gladwell, who works remotely
Yes.
and starts his day on the sofa with a laptop, says it's not in people's best interest to work from home.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a
So
very
cute,
simple
Malcolm.
form of like what the fuck kind of annoyance from me, it sounds very similar to all these executives, banking executives primarily, who want all their employees to come back to the office, but are like, no, I'm not in, but you have to. So annoying.
There is a
Yeah.
Scott
Yeah.
Galloway's been on this train too.
I believe it.
There does seem to be this like intelligentsia elitist class of white men
Yeah.
who really
know
want you to go
better.
back to work.
But
Like-
they really, really don't want to
'Cause
themselves.
they miss pizza parties. But Matt, you're missing the bigger picture. Do you see how at the very end Emma slips back in some anti-Canadian hatred? Like
Where?
Malcolm
Was there anti-
Gladwell.
there were- I didn't-
Malcolm Gladwell is Canadian.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
true.
oh.
You see what she did there? That's the only reason why she did that.
You know,
Oh,
I
got
did
it.
see this story and I thought, huh. Like, who
Weird.
are you? I mean, I
Who-
know
I
who
know.
you are, but like,
What?
who are you to tell me about?
How dare
to tell
you.
me this?
Malcolm Gladwell is a journalist with a bachelor's in history. That's
Yeah.
who he is. That's what this
Right.
man knows.
And I listened to his podcast and stuff, and I enjoy them, but I was just surprised.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
You're fired.
yeah.
HR says.
All right,
Uh,
that's it. Vote
Good list.
time.
Once again, Emma, good list.
Thank
Anyone
you.
want to
Thank
jump
you.
into this?
Yeah, I because this one's easy for me. Malcolm
okay.
Gladwell talking about working from home. That guy's a blowhard. I don't care much what he says anyway. The like squashing an antitrust bill is the core function of
It's old
basically
news.
big tech. So
Totally.
that just it's less irritating and more like
Eye-rolling.
another step in their
Yeah.
evil conquest of humanity. Apple, being terrible with female employees, you could just substitute the name of every corporation there and you probably have the same story. So it's not really irritating so much as like a continued systemic problem dealing with anybody who has female genitalia or any other non-binary human,
Oh, yeah.
anything
Any
that's
person,
not a
yeah.
white cisgendered male.
Totally.
Elon Musk's name irritates me now.
Okay, but that's cheating.
And that he
No,
wants to
it's legit.
debate Parag Agrawal. Debate? What are you going to debate? What is the what's the fun? What are you hoping to achieve? That the public
great
overwhelmingly stands in front of Elon Musk and says you cannot take his $44 billion. Like, is this like a Dead Poets moment? What is this?
Oh.
I just don't like. I don't understand what the point is. It's just pure narcissism.
Yeah.
You're losing the court case because you're a fucking idiot, and
Yeah.
that is a distraction from that.
Let me
That's
ask you
all
this.
it is. It's more distraction.
If Peacock picked up that debate, would that get you to buy Peacock? 'Cause I
No,
can't
Yes.
think of anything that would get me to buy Peacock. No,
They
absolutely
could
nothing.
they could be like Fight Night, UFC
Sure.
or whatever.
MMA. It'd be
Yeah.
like MMA. Yeah, I'm all
Yeah.
about Elon Musk.
Put them
I'm
in a
torn.
ring. Maybe they create bots and the bots fight each other. Like
Wait,
with
wasn't that already a show?
Yeah,
there
that
was like a
it was-
celebrity death match.
No,
A
no,
bot?
no. It was
A-
it was
Celebrity
it was
fight.
like
What was
a
it?
machines that fight each other
A
thing
bot
in a
duel?
cage. Yeah.
No,
But
but there was
like,
a show on
with
Comedy
words?
Central where celebrities
Not
fought
with
each other
words.
as robots. I don't know.
Come on.
I'm torn between Elon and Malcolm. frankly.
Wow.
Yeah.
The middle
Aw.
two stories, Emma, like they're irritating, but that's just business as usual.
Yeah.
I hate voting for Elon. The thing that pisses me off about Elon is we talked about this earlier this week is that I hate this generation of like you just get to establish a truth. I guess this would be a lowercase t truth. I don't know what this is.
No,
Is
that's
this-
right. That's what
You just
Melody
establish a
Hobson said.
truth. Elon has never had any evidence that he and how would he that he knows the percentage of bots at Twitter, but he is
Or
standing
any
on that
things
mountain
at all.
forever.
Yeah.
Right? Because he wants Parag to disprove his truth. And how does he even get to this truth? Nobody knows.
You
It's just
mean
ridiculous.
thing
The whole
he
thing is
made up
asinine.
inside his head.
Yeah.
You know?
I hate
Yeah.
him. I hate him. Malcolm
Breaking
irritates me
news.
from a different
Damien
direction.
hates Elon.
and Malcolm is going to be my proxy for the CEOs who I hate because I'm worried about this whole. And Matt, I think you were right to put it in terms of like white, male CEOs or Scott Galloway or whatever you said, because this only really hurts. Well, the first people this hurts is women because, the ability to work from home and to not shun it and shame it women, as we know, are primarily responsible still for home, for healthcare, for not only their children, but their their parents, whoever. Like we have
Domestic
we have
tasks
a
of
looming
any sort.
crisis of like aging generation and taking care of them. We still have a crisis with childcare. It still falls on the shoulders of women. I was hoping this would be an opportunity to like. We're already stigmatizing this. Like we can't accept this as being a positive thing, and I also think it hurts people of color too because, for the same reasons that I just pointed out with for childcare and aging care. But so I'm gonna go with I'm gonna vote for Malcolm as a proxy for CEOs who are also bad mouthing this practice.
Damien, you were right there with me today.
Thank you.
I'm tempted to switch
Matt?
my vote. That was my other option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you frame it as, when you do look at who's asking to go back to work or saying it's in your
Elon.
best interest,
It's DJ D-Sol. It's like these
it's
types of people, right?
overwhelmingly white men
Yeah.
for whom the workplace is actually like an escape from your family. It is like it's the place that you thrive the most. It's built
what you
around
want.
white male like culture and
Yeah.
and it literally is to the exclusion of. And imagine being a woman who says, actually, it's better for me to work from home. And the man says, everyone should come back to the office. You basically just took yourself out of career track, right? Like that's the way it works. There were people at MSCI who had kids. And I remember one woman I spoke to, she was like, I'm going to start working 4-day weeks so that I can take care of the kid. And I said, no, don't tell anyone. Just stay home on the 5th day and don't tell anyone. Because if you tell them you're only going to work 4 days, then they pay you for 4, but you work for 5, right? Like
maybe she should tell HR.
that's what she did. And then she
Oh,
stopped
God.
getting promotions and they stopped sending her places. And it was like, of course, you told the truth. Men just lie. We just don't
How
show
about
up.
this?
No one cares.
Also, how about this, men? We've only had like a year and a half of data, and you're already jumping on this as like killing productivity, killing this, killing that. Like you're not even like proving anything. You're just like you're stigmatizing it as bringing your company down, bringing everything down, bringing your career down. Like again, where's the proof of this?
There is another group of people that also do want to go into work, and that is
Canadians.
outgoing, childless, mostly single young people.
Yeah.
Sure.
True.
Then they
True.
can go into work.
Yeah.
They can go to work.
They can
no
all
one's
be, it'll
stopping
be
them.
like a big sex pot when they go. Like
Yeah.
they're all there and everybody else is at home and all they're doing is basically dating each other and, like it's like a reality show. I'm switching my vote. I'm going with Malcolm Gladwell.
Ooh, a switched vote. This is a rarity in
Wow.
this universe.
Well, now my vote doesn't
Dami-
even matter. Thanks
Damien
a lot.
convinced me.
What would have you been your vote? No, it matters. It matters for I record
I
these. It matters
care.
for posterity. What's your vote? Ari?
Nobody.
I vote for Apple
Oh,
because
come on. That vote sucks.
even though
You're right. Your vote
you
doesn't.
are-
matter. Why? Tell us why.
you just expect this out of them and it doesn't like phase you at all, it's still shocking to me that this happens every day.
Especially the thing that gets me about the Apple story
Yes.
is that they were like, if you have hard evidence, we
Ooh,
cannot do
how?
anything and will not do anything. Is the
Yeah.
like imagine having hard evidence of someone
Well,
sexually assaulting or harassing you and having them look at it and go, nothing we can do.
Emma.
Apologies. Yeah.
What about the documentary film crew that follows you around?
Oh.
Why
don't-
can't they just send the footage? I really,
Even
what
if
I
they
don't
had the
understand.
footage, they don't care. Hard evidence, they don't care.
Yeah,
It's still
the
hard
insurrection
evidence.
still can't get. Yeah, still can't try the big cheese. From
Maybe
the
get them
insurrection. They
some
got
soft
evidence.
evidence.
True. All right.
It's like,
All right,
and
all
I
right.
don't know,
Goes
if I
to-
like slashed somebody's tires, I'll probably get fired on the spot.
I'll
Truly.
fire you right now
Probably. Yeah.
Well, if I didn't wear a
For-
mask or
for
whatever.
saying basically that the boys what was
They're-
it?
it's
The boy
dead.
bosses. The
Are
boy
dead.
bosses
The boy
are
bosses.
on
Boy
my way
bosses.
out.
R.I.P.
Us me. You can't say that.
No,
about
we've
me.
established
No,
you're not a boy
you're
boss.
not a boy boss.
You're a young man
No.
boss. You're a man boss. All right.
A
What's
young
next?
man,
Emma?
is
Emma,
pushing it.
A middle-aged boss.
middle-aged loser. Man, what's next, Emma? What are we doing next? Who won the week? Come
Who
on.
won the week?
I got a quick one. I'll go first. single male turtles. Speaking of a sex pot, but if you're already a single, if you're already a male turtle and somehow you were born, the odds are picking up. It's looking good for you. I'm just saying, it's looking good.
Congrats.
My guess is you're having all girls if you do get someone pregnant, though. That's just a guess.
Well, they don't care about that.
Ari never has won the week or a prediction. Do we?
Wait, no.
I have one this week.
Go ahead, Ari.
Ooh, okay.
I think Jerry Hall
Uh-huh.
won the week.
Why?
This
Who's
week.
Jerry Hall? Tell us who.
Wasn't
Why?
she married to Mick Jagger at one point?
She was, and
Yeah.
most recently, I think until as of this week, she was married to Rupert Murdoch.
Okay.
Yep.
Who hasn't married Rupert Murdoch?
He
Yeah,
is.
I'm
or
not.
she
Can
is
I
his
vote
fourth-
against your? Yeah. Can I vote
Are you
against
kidding?
Ari?
She doesn't have to be married to him anymore and got a whole
I don't
bunch
care.
of cash.
She never should have been in the first place. Can I rescind your who won
No.
the week? You shouldn't
won't.
play
No,
this game.
because when I saw Ari's Who
Yeah.
Won the Week, I just had a little I just added a little carrot to indicate upward because Ari's prediction is above mine because I 100% agree with Ari. Jerry Hall, whether you like it or not, Jerry Hall won the week. Sorry.
What about
no,
the-
she did not.
You
Emma, what
take
about the
those tens of
PTSD?
millions.
What about the PTSD of having lived with him and been with him
Yeah,
intimately
that
for that
sucks.
long?
And she won because she actually escaped this week. Good
I don't
job.
believe she won
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
No, Mark
Matt?
Zuckerberg won the week.
Why?
Because there's no better press you can get than when your own chatbot says you're a sleazy asshole. That's
Why?
he won
Why is that good press?
the week. Look, did the chatbot say anything everybody wasn't already thinking?
Right.
And now people are paying attention to Meta, but they trust the chatbot. Like they think
Yeah.
the
Right,
chatbot is like
exactly.
on their side.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
that's Zuck just won. It's his chatbot,
Right.
you idiots. He
Which
won.
makes
He
me
won.
think that Blender 1 and 2 didn't do a good enough job.
I know. Maybe they
right.
said nice
Deceiving
things
you.
about Facebook, and then no one trusted it.
No, maybe they said the
Once again,
real truth, which is horrible.
proving that
which is way
BlenderBot 3
worse.
is the real oversight board at Meta.
Yeah.
At Facebook.
Yeah,
Once
I
All right,
get
what do we got for
everything.
predictions? Let's wrap this up. It's like a 6-hour.
I'm gonna go
show.
quickly. I can't go quickly. I wrote down a lot here. I actually started with Malcolm Gladwell. I was
This is a
I thought
book.
that Malcolm Gladwell was eventually going to discover that everybody hates him, but then he was going to write a book convincing everybody that this means that they actually statistically love him,
What?
and that he's more
Oh,
important than all
that sounds
all
right.
medicine.
That actually
He's more
does
important than
seem
all
like
medicine
the kind of
combined.
thing,
But
yeah.
I'm scrapping that prediction. Here,
Okay.
this is based on who reported on 23andMe? Based on 23andMe
I did.
reporting. Matt
Matt.
Moscardi. Here's my new prediction. Elon Musk, instead of sleeping with Sergey Brin's wife, he decides to marry his ex-wife, Anne Wojcicki, and after their honeymoon, they put out a press release announcing they are taking over the world. That's my prediction. But then I'm gonna also another prediction. They divorced 9 months after because they announced that there was a heated battle to change the name of X.com to XX.com.
Oh.
That's why they get divorced.
That actually is very
That's funny.
adjacent to mine, ironically.
Okay, go ahead.
I had my prediction is that Elon Musk, seeing the power of a chatbot that outs its leader as a horrible asshole and gains trust of users, he's actually launching X.com. He's going to put an X bot on it whose only function is to say horrible things about Elon Musk to bring them in and trust Elon Musk more.
Wait. Okay. Okay.
Mine is also Elon Musk related. Apologies.
Oh
Okay. No, it's fine.
Oh.
My prediction is that SNL is going to do an Elon Musk scandal musical medley when it comes back next season. Because I feel like there's just
musical medley. Okay.
yeah, I mean there's just so
Like
many
Weird Al-
scandals for
Weird Al Yankovic is going to do something.
yeah, exactly. But there are just so many scandals to cover, and so just to
Sure.
get through them all at once, I'm thinking like a mashup musical medley. So it's like he wants
Sounds
to
terrible.
debate Parag Agrawal. He's having affairs with Sergey Brin's wife. He's getting Twitter banned. There's
Child.
just so much to cover.
Yeah.
So this
So
is
much to
less of
cover.
a prediction and more of a idea for them. You're welcome, SNL.
Yeah. All right.
I like it.
Get us
Yeah.
out of here. Somebody.
That's Damien Morales, and I'm lurking. And all right, the Data Queen. I'm Matt Mascari. We are Free Float. That was the week, and we'll be back next week. Until then.